Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Las Cruces, New Mexico, as we start off the 2024 portion of the season for the Hobbs Lady Eagles. Good evening, I'm TJ Miracle, and thanks for being with us tonight here on Eagle 100.5, the Hobbs Sports YouTube channel, and HobbsAmerica.com. So you'll bear with me tonight. I am flying solo. Well, I'm never solo. You're with me, and Tiff Stuber in studio engineering and producing, but Dawn Morgan a little bit under the weather tonight, so I will be handling the Las Cruces road trip by myself. For the Lady Eagles, they come in at 11-1 on the season after a dominating performance to wrap up 2023 in the 6th annual Hobbs Girls Holiday Tournament. They are right now number 2 in the Max Preps poll and number 1 in the coaches poll. So more tune-ups as the Lady Eagles get ready next week for the APS Metro Tournament. The Hobbs boys and girls both going to be participating in that tournament. We will have all of those games for you here on Eagle 100.5 for the girls and on our sister station, Cool 95.7 for the boys. Now right before, pardon me, a little bit of congestion here, but right before this game, the Hobbs JV took care of the Lady Bulldogs handily, 79-44, so another win for the Lady Eagle JV team. Well, congratulations to them. Now on the other side of the court tonight for the Lady Eagles, they will be taking on the Las Cruces Lady Bulldogs. They are 6-4 on the year, and right now are number 19 in Class 5A. But, hey, it's a home game, and they're going to come out and they're going to try and make a name for themselves. Just like the Hobbs Lady Eagles, they'll be starting district very soon. Now, as I mentioned last time, we saw the Lady Eagles dominating performances in the Hobbs Holiday Tournament, of course, winning the championship game in a rematch of the 5A state title game from 1 year ago against Volcano Vista, and they handily took care of the Lady Hawks in that one, 78-50. Now, in that game, leading scorer for the Lady Eagles was Bryn Hargrove, as she had 17 points in that ball game, 10 of them coming in the second half. Also in double digits for the Lady Eagles was Aliana Armitage, with 14 points in the ball game. 13 points for Kendall Cunningham. Cunningham with a double-double. She had 10 rebounds in the game. Brett Clay also with a double-double. She had 12 points and 10 rebounds for Hobbs, too. So, again, a great performance for the Lady Eagles in the tournament. 4 Lady Eagles making that all-tournament team, and they were Brett Clay, Nakaya Mojica, Bryn Hargrove, and Kendall Cunningham. All of them with dominating performances. I mean, how many times can I say dominating? But, yeah, it was one of those performances that doesn't come along all that often. But I think the Lady Eagles, trying to send a message that, hey, we are the defending state champs, and not getting a lot of love in the Max Preps algorithm, but the coaches poll did have them at number 1. Let's go ahead and take a 2-minute timeout, come back and continue. This is Lady Eagle Basketball on Eagle 100.5, HobbsAmerica.com, and the Hobbs Sports YouTube channel. Back here at Bulldog Gym in Las Cruces, getting ready for the start of the Hobbs Lady Eagles and the Las Cruces Lady Bulldogs. I'm TJ Miracle. Don Morgan a little bit under the weather tonight, so I'll be filling in. I'm a little under the weather too. At least I've got some head stuff going on. I'm not contagious. Life is good. But yeah, so just bear with me tonight. Of course, great to have you along, and great to have Tiff Stuber and Lena Muro in studio engineering and producing and keeping the three-ring circus going. That is back at Eagle 100.5. So for the Hobbs Lady Eagles, yeah, we pretty much know who to keep an eye out when it comes to the Hobbs Lady Eagles. For the Las Cruces Lady Bulldogs, they've got some girls who can do quite a bit of damage. They don't have anybody in double digits. They don't have a double-digit average score. Their leading scorer is Janessa Navarrete. She is a senior, and she averages just under 10 points a game, 9.9 per contest, 9.4 per game for Danae Pacheco, and then Bethany Quinones averaging 8.1 points a game for these Lady Bulldogs. So those are three girls that can score. They do, just looking at things, try to even things out a little bit. They try and get a lot of girls involved. Just about everybody is averaging at least a couple of points a game. They average about 53 points per game, do the Lady Bulldogs of Las Cruces. On the rebounding side of things, their leading rebounder is going to be Mercedes Willis. She averages just over 4.5 rebounds a game. Quinones also averaging right at 4.5 rebounds a game. So those girls can work the boards pretty good. And right now in the rebounding categories as a team, they're averaging right at 26 rebounds per team. So Hobbs, is not the strongest rebounding team. That's not the biggest part of their game. They do pretty good, and all told. And when they get everything moving like they need to, they generally do win that category. 34 rebounds in that game against Volcano Vista. They did out-rebound the Lady Hawks in that one, 34-29. Strength of the Hobbs Lady Eagles game, of course, is defense in transitions and then hitting and splashing the open bucket. They forced, let's see, that was 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 33 turnovers forced against Volcano Vista in the championship game at the Hobbs Holiday Tournament. And if they can force those turnovers and get open looks at the basket, it could be a very long night for the team in red, white, and blue from Las Cruces. So the teams are heading to the bench, and we are getting ready for the introduction of players in the national anthem. We will take a timeout, come back, and tip this one off. This is Hobbs Lady Eagle Basketball on KEJL, Humboldt City Hobbs, K263AZ Hobbs, Eagle 100.5. Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Las Cruces High School as we get ready for the tip-off of Las Cruces versus Hobbs, the first game of the 2024 portion of the season. The Lady Eagles on the road for a day-night doubleheader, first at Las Cruces High and then tomorrow at Mayfield. Starters for your Hobbs Lady Eagles, no big surprises. Number 14, Brett Clay. Number 15, Nakaya Mojica. Number 20, Bryn Hargrove. Number 22, Kendall Cunningham. And number 23, Jayla David. For Las Cruces, it'll be Bethany Quinones, Danae Pacheco, Aaliyah Morales, Ryan Rodriguez, and Alondra Rosie. So it'll be David to take the jump against Quinones. And here we go. We are underway. And it will be Las Cruces who controls the tip and wind up in the hands of Morales. Mojica picks her up just as she crosses the timeline as they'll bounce it back over to the Rosie. Top of the arc, now going into the deep right corner. Rosie, top of the arc, now going into the deep right corner to Rodriguez. And stolen away is the Hobbs Lady Eagles coming back the other way as that will be Clay with the coast-to-coast off the steal. And Hobbs will take the early 2-0 lead. Las Cruces trying to bounce it around too much and almost stolen away again as Rodriguez will wind up with it. Saved to Rosie. And it will be to Morales, and two Lady Eagles pick her up. That was Hargrove and Mojica, both keeping an eye on her. To Rodriguez, pardon me, yeah, that's Rodriguez. I'm having to look through some netting and mesh here, so it may take me a moment to pick some things up. And they'll throw a fastball over the head of Rosie and out of bounds. So two possessions, two turnovers for Las Cruces. And Las Cruces and Coach Lori Shelby going to quickly take a timeout. It will just be a 30, so we will keep it right here. Say a big thank you to all the good folks who make Hobbs Lady Eagle basketball possible here on Eagle 100.5, HobbsAmerica.com, and the Hobbs Sports YouTube channel, including Lasco Construction, TDS, Forest Tire Company, Lee County State Bank, Hobbs Express, the First American Bank of Hobbs, there we go, Thriftway, Elite Home Healthcare, NMR Pipeline, Ampersand Media and Design, The Model, Divine Energy, Hydrotech Services, and the Coffee House. We appreciate those folks making Hobbs Hoops possible. I'm TJ Miracle, flying solo tonight. Feeling okay, the voice just didn't quite with me all the way. So Hobbs will inbound it as Mojica will toss it in to Brett Clay, and Clay will bring it across the timeline in front of the Las Cruces bench. She'll back it down on Pacheco, then take it into the deep left corner. Give it to Mojica, 15-footer from the right base, and that is up no good, but the rebound made by Cunningham. Kendall will set it out to Hargrove for three, and bang! Bryn Hargrove had the open look and took it. Full court press on. Hobbs leading 5-0. 90 seconds gone here in the first. Rosie will push it forward to Rodriguez. She'll go from the left wing for three, and that one is up and good. So Cruces answers 3 for 3 in their first bucket of the ball game. Hobbs up by 2. Clay to Cunningham, top of the arc for 3. That one is off the mark, but it is David with the rebound. Her putback won't fall in a fight for the rebound and a foul. And Hobbs should be going to the line. See who they're going to call it on. They are going to call the hack foul on Bethany Quinones, her first personal, first team foul on Las Cruces, and it'll put Kendall at the line to shoot 2. So Cunningham at the line. First one up for Kendall, and it is good. So that'll put Hobbs up by 3, 6-3. Not quite 2 minutes gone here in the first. Again, the Hobbs JV winning. Big 79-44 earlier. Cunningham's second is up. That one is too hard. It is off the mark, and it'll be Quinones with the rebound. So 6-3, still our score. Full court press on. Mojica all over Morales, who tosses it off but then gets it right back to Rodriguez in the front court. As Mojica right on her, uses up her dribble, needs some help, and tosses it right into the hands of Jayla David. Jayla will bring it back. She takes it coast to coast, drives in. No foul called. The shot up, rebound by Cunningham. Now the ball loose on the floor and will go out, and they will say out of bounds. Last touched by Hobbs. No, it will be Las Cruces basketball from just left of their own bucket from my perspective. 5:42 remaining here in the first. Hobbs leading 6-3. Full court press is on once again. So Morales will swing it out to Pacheco, who gives it back to Morales. Still stuck behind midcourt. Back to Morales, trying to bounce it over, and just out of the reach of everybody, and another turnover for Las Cruces. 4 turnovers on 5 possessions. And Hobbs leads 6-3 and back in the hands of the Lady Eagles as Hargrove will inbound it to Clay. And Clay brings it up into the offensive zone. Back to Bryn. She'll take it with the left hand, then give it to Cunningham. Kendall out to Mojica, sets the screen. Mojica uses up her dribble at the free throw line. Over to Hargrove, looking for a little space. Tosses left corner. Leaping up for it is Clay. She'll drive it down on the right baseline. Her shot is up, no good, and the rebound will be brought down by Rosie. To Quinones, who will push it forward. That's to Morales, and a whistle going to sound. And they are going to call the hold foul on Mojica. So that'll be her first personal, first team foul on Hobbs. It is on the floor. So Quinones to inbound it from in front of the Hobbs Lady Eagle bench. 3 minutes gone here in the first. Hobbs leading 6-3. Have had their opportunities, have just had a little trouble getting the shots to fall here early. Into the ball game will be Navarrete. And she'll toss it, almost losing it again, was Rosie. Back to Navarrete, uses up the dribble, tosses it, tipped and almost stolen away. Hargrove got a hand on it, but they'll get it out to Pacheco. Pacheco to Navarrete, to Rosie, and then back it up with Pacheco between the rings. Tries to get it into Rosie, now they'll get it out on the right side. 3 ball on the way, that one no good, and into the hands of Rosie, and her putback will be up, and it is good. So now 6-5. Hobbs just leads by a point. Inside to David, wide open, and Jayla misses the point-blank layup. Fortunately, Las Cruces can't handle the rebound, so it'll stay Hobbs basketball. They have missed 3 or 4 wide open ones here in the first. And on the inbound to Clay, and up and in for Brett. She's got 4 points, and it puts Hobbs back up by 3, 8-5. Halfway gone here in the first. Hobbs up by 3. Hobbs with the pressure on. Turning on the Jets is Navarrete. She'll bounce it into the deep right corner and then get it back to the free throw line with Pacheco. Pardon me, that's Quinones, and she loses the basketball, stolen away by Clay. Clay will bring it down. Tosses it into the corner. Mojica for 3, and bang! Nakaya has her first 3 of the ball game. And now it is 11-5 in favor of the Lady Eagles. 3.5 to go as they try and break the full court press. They will get it forward to Pacheco. Pacheco from the right elbow, and that one up no good. Another rebound by Cunningham, her third. Kendall to David, or pardon me, that's Clay. Brett to David. There we go. I knew it was coming, and beautiful little move by Jayla, and she'll take it up and in. So Hobbs has gone on a run, now leading 13-5. 3:03 to go here in the first quarter. Breaking the pressure, getting Quinones open, but Hobbs drops back in defense quickly. Quinones to Morales. Hargrove on her very tight. Looking for some room, Pacheco. Bryn on her on that far sideline. Bouncing it underneath, getting it to Quinones. 15-footer from the right elbow, no good, and the rebound for Clay, her first. Brett keeps it herself. She'll bring it down. Now to Mojica in the deep right corner. They back off, give her room. She'll pop the 3. It is off the iron, and it'll be Rosie with the rebound. 2.5 to go in a fast-moving first. Morales on her horse, loses the basketball. 6 turnover for Las Cruces. Mojica with it. She'll take it coast to coast, and she misses the point-blank layup, and Quinones will have her second rebound of the ball game. Bounce underneath to Rosie, and she'll put it up off the glass, and good. Rosie with 4 points. Breaks a little scoring drought, 13-7. Hobbs with a 6-point lead. Clay to Cunningham, to Mojica, back into Clay. Clay turns around, fires it up, gets her own rebound, and Brett puts it up and in. For Clay now, she's got 6 points. Las Cruces wanted a foul called on Clay, didn't get it. They probably would have called the block, not the charge. Push it forward to a wide open Rosie, who got behind the defense. They break the pressure and get the points. 15-9, 90 seconds to go in a fast-moving first. Mojica into the front court. High dribbles, manages to save it. Feed it to Jayla David on the right elbow. Leave it off for Brett Clay. Rosie picks her up quickly. Back to Brett, now out to Jayla. Jayla, a little push off, turns around from the right block, shot up, no good. And the rebound going to be brought down by Morales. Morales will cycle through, bounce it into the front court, and then she'll get it back from Quinones. Morales looking for a little help and a little space. Toss it in at the free throw line, and they'll just have to wind up resetting. Now over to Pacheco. Hargrove picks her up quickly. Out of the right elbow, and then a little turnaround jumper from 12. No good, and the rebound going to be brought down by Clay, her second. Clay gets her pocket picked from behind. That's just the first turnover for the Lady Eagles. Comes with 40 seconds remaining in the first, and Hobbs returns the favor and takes it right back as Hargrove to Mojica, and up and in. Count the bucket of the foul. Mojica with 5 points, and she'll head to the line to shoot the and one. Go for it the old-fashioned way. And they're going to call the push foul, looks like, for sure. I'll wait for him to put it up. Yeah, they're going to call that on Rosie, her first personal. Second team foul on Las Cruces. Very clean first quarter so far. Subs checking in for Hobbs as Aliana Armitage into the ball game, as is Caselyn Muniz for the last 34 seconds of the first. At the line for the and one is Mojica. Three the old-fashioned way is up, and it is good. So now 17-9, make that 18-9. He and the scorebug are not getting along all of a sudden. So Hobbs doubling up Las Cruces high. Full court press on once again. Morales, the little fake pass, and now she'll toss it and throw it all the way over the head of Pacheco. Hobbs has forced 8 turnovers so far in the first quarter, but have had some trouble getting the wide open looks at the basket. Madison Zepeda coming in for the Lady Eagles. Muniz will inbound it to Armitage. Aliana coming near side to Muniz for three in the right corner, and bang! Caselyn Muniz drains the tray. 21-9, 15 seconds to go. The full court press is on once again. They'll get through and get it to Quinones. She'll bounce it to a runner, and that was Pacheco who will get it up and in. 21-11, Hobbs up by 10 with 2, with 1. Armitage puts up the shot. It is partially blocked. As we have played one from here in Las Cruces, it is Hobbs 21, Las Cruces 11. We're back in 60 seconds. Hobbs Lady Eagle basketball continues in a moment on Eagle 100.5. And welcome back to Las Cruces. After one quarter, it is the Hobbs Lady Eagles up by 10, 21-11. Starting, well, no, I was going to say starting 5 back out on the floor. It'll be Clay, Armitage, Muniz, Zepeda, and Size checking in. Muniz to Size. Carolina takes it to the free throw line, gets it back out to Muniz. Muniz takes it over. Now to Armitage in the deep left corner for 3. It is in and out, and off of the tip. Armitage with the rebound. Armitage to Zepeda, and Zepeda traveled. She bobbled the ball just a little bit, and by the time she got it corralled, they're going to say, nope, she traveled. Just the second turnover for Hobbs, and it'll give Las Cruces their first possession of the second quarter. So the inbound from Morales to Pacheco, as Pacheco pushes it forward to Rodriguez, bouncing it over to Rosie, and then they'll just bounce it around. Hobbs switching over into a zone to Rodriguez into the free throw line, and that one going to be partially blocked, and it is off the mark for Quinones, and the rebound by Clay, her third. Clay into the front court through a little traffic, hands it off to Size. Into the deep corner with Muniz, back to Size. Size takes it to the free throw line, uses up the dribble, tries to bounce it into Clay, and they call another travel. So a couple of quick travels on the Lady Eagles. As Clay will check out and Cunningham will check in for Hobbs. Still a 10-point Lady Eagle lead, 21-11. A minute gone here in the second quarter. Armitage very tight on Quinones, who gets it across the timeline. Bouncing it to Rosie in the deep right base. And then Hobbs will push him out to the top of the arc, and that one's stolen away off of the pass into the hands of Armitage. Takes it up the lane and misses another wide open look, and it'll go out of bounds and last touched by Hobbs. How many of those? There's probably been 5 wide open layups that the Hobbs Lady Eagles have uncharacteristically missed. Of course, have had a little time off since the end of the holiday tournament. 6 days to be exact, so maybe just getting a little bit of rust off. And Las Cruces is definitely here to play tonight. Navarrete into the front court for the Lady Bulldogs. Navarrete works against Armitage. Navarrete, you're not a starter tonight. She is their leading scorer, and a foul called away from the ball. Or are they going to get Armitage on the bump? Let's see for sure what they're going to signal to the bench. And yeah, they are going to call Armitage for a push. So that'll be her first personal, first team foul in the quarter. Uncharacteristically, we've gone more than 90 seconds without a score as Morales gets the inbound in the backcourt, takes it over on the right side. And back to Pacheco, back to Morales. Morales to Pacheco, loses the ball, and it'll go out of bounds, and that is turnover number 10 for Las Cruces. 10 turnovers for the Lady Bulldogs, just 3 for the Lady Eagles. But the Lady Eagles on a bit of a scoring drought. We're going on 2 minutes since they've scored. That does not happen often. Zepeda with Rodriguez on her to Size. Size to Cunningham. Cunningham to Armitage. Armitage takes it to the left baseline and will bounce it back out to Size. Carolina bouncing it over to Zepeda in front of the Las Cruces bench. She'll cycle it back around. Rodriguez giving her a little bit of room. Now to Muniz, to Armitage. Armitage, a little spin move, goes into the paint and partially going to be blocked out, and it'll wind up in the hands of Rosie. Rosie to Pacheco. Hobbs tries to trap her up. To Rodriguez, back to Pacheco. Zepeda almost getting the hand on it, but they're going to have to reset with Morales as Rodriguez goes sliding to the floor, and Navarrete just rips her up by the jersey and says, get up. To Rosie, 17-footer from the base. It is an air ball out of bounds, and Pacheco touches it last. It'll be Hobbs Lady Eagle basketball. Hockey line change coming in for the Lady Eagles. Well, 4 of the 5. It'll be the starters back on the floor for Hobbs. That's Clay, Mojica, Hargrove, Cunningham, and David. Hobbs uncharacteristically has gone 3 minutes without scoring. Brett Clay into the front court. Crosses over, gets it to Mojica. On the left side to Cunningham in the left elbow, back to Mojica. Nakia looking for some room, tosses it. David is there, splits through traffic, and David will roll it home and will end the scoring drought, and Hobbs strikes first in the second quarter, 23-11. The inbound comes to Rodriguez, to Rosie, who tosses to Pacheco. Pacheco going to be run out by Mojica, tosses out to Morales. Hargrove on her very tight. Morales looking for a little room, bounces it to Rosie. Nifty little head fake, but yep, she slid the feet while she was trying to get a little room against Jayla David. That'll be the 11th turnover for Las Cruces. So Hobbs basketball. Subs checking into the game for Las Cruces. Rather, I should say sub. That's Quinones who's back in as Clay will run the point, giving it off to Hargrove on the far side of the court. Into David in the high post. She'll back it into the low post. Little nifty spin move, and Jayla puts it up and in. She's got 6. When Jayla is on in that low post, she is hard to stop. To Quinones the other way comes Las Cruces. 4:10 to go. A bad pass almost going out of bounds. But somehow Pacheco saves it. Quinones uses the dribble and tic-tac. They're going to call Brett Clay for a reach foul. So for Clay, that'll be her first personal, just the second team foul on Hobbs. It is on the floor, and it comes with 4:03 to go here in the first half. Hobbs up by 14, 25-11. Of course, tomorrow afternoon, 3:30, we'll be across town over at Mayfield. Hobbs Lady Eagles in the day portion of the night-day doubleheader here in Las Cruces. To Navarrete, now into the deep right corner. That's Quinones, using up the dribble to Navarrete. Takes it up the left lane, puts up a wild shot, and that one will go out of bounds. And Clay touches it last. She and Rosie fighting for it. And last touched by Clay. 3:45 remaining first half. Hobbs leading 25-11. And the bounce into Quinones, and a foul going to be called on Clay. So Brett's quickly picked up 2 personals. That'll be the third team foul on Hobbs. And it will put Quinones at the line to shoot 2. This is the first trip to the line tonight for any of the Las Cruces Lady Bulldogs. Hobbs has gone 2 for 3. The first one for Quinones is up, and it is good. Her first point of the ball game. And the first point for Las Cruces here in the second quarter makes it 25-12. Second is up, and that one is off the mark, and it'll be Cunningham with her 4th rebound of the ball game. Cunningham to Hargrove. Bryn takes it to the free throw line. No look pass to Clay. Right corner for 3, and that one off the back of the iron. Rebound made by Jayla David. Gets it out to Mojica. Over to Cunningham. Kendall directs traffic, gets it to Jayla. No look pass to Hargrove from the right wing. That one is off the back of the iron. And skying for the rebound is Pacheco, and a push foul called on the rebound. Hobbs can't believe it. And they're going to call the push on Jayla. Her first personal, 4th team foul on Hobbs. They let him go a lot in the first quarter, not letting him as much in the second. Morales bounces it in to Quinones, who gets it right back. Now back to Quinones. She'll take it up against Cunningham, uses up the dribble. She'll turn around from 5, and no good. And Clay will have her 4th rebound and a foul called. And they're going to call that on Alondra Rosie, her second personal. Just the first team foul on Las Cruces here in the second quarter. So the first one started a little slow, but then picked way up in the tempo. See if the second quarter does the same. As it'll be Mojica controlling on the far side of the court, and we'll have an offensive foul called on the Lady Eagles. They're going to call Cunningham for the offensive foul, her first personal. That will put Las Cruces in the bonus. That is the 5th team foul and the 5th turnover for Hobbs. So Las Cruces basketball as we click under 3 minutes to play in the first half. Navarrete with Hargrove on her. Little head fake, turns on the Jets, weaves through traffic, goes from the right to the left. Hargrove stays with her, bounce it to the free throw line. New in the ball game is Hawkins, who tries to get it inside. Bad pass, and it'll come to Hobbs. That'll be Clay to Mojica, left corner for 3, and bang! Nakaya Mojica has her second tray of the ball game. She's got 9 points, leads the way for the Lady Eagles, 28-12. That was Quinones almost losing it, but getting it out to Morales. Morales to Pacheco on the far side. Back to Morales, bounce it to Hawkins. Picks it up in the left block, turn around from 8, and it'll be Clay with another rebound for Brett. That's her 5th. She'll bring it down, goes inside, now to Hargrove. Right corner for 3, and bang! Bryn Hargrove has her second tray of the ball game, 31-12. Hobbs has all of a sudden stretched it out to a 19-point lead. 1:50 remaining here in the first half, and we will have a backcourt violation. So that'll be turnover number 13 for Las Cruces, and give it back to Hobbs right in front of the scorer's table. So it'll be Hargrove to inbound it. Hargrove, Clay, Cunningham, David, and Mojica on the floor for the Lady Eagles. Pacheco, Quinones, Navarrete, Hawkins and Morales on the floor for the Bulldogs. Trying to get it inside to Kendall Cunningham. It's tipped and saved by Clay, who tries to give it right back to Kendall coming to the right base, but just out of her reach. 6 turnover for Hobbs. So Las Cruces gets a break and will get it right back. Full court pressure is on as it comes in to Morales. Needing some help. She'll find it. They'll wind up with Navarrete on the left side of the court, and she is going to be blocked underneath by Cunningham. So here comes the Lady Eagles. Hargrove flipping it to Mojica. Left corner, 3-ball, and off the mark. And the rebound loose on the floor, and it'll wind up in the hands of Hawkins. So she'll go all the way down the court to shoot free throws. Foul going to be called on Cunningham. That's Kendall's second. Is the 6th-team foul. So that'll put Hawkins at the line to shoot 2. 31-12, 1:20 to go first half. Hobbs comfortably in control. Hawkins puts up the first, and it finds the bottom of the net. 31-13 as Clay will check out. Aliana Armitage checks in. So Hawkins got her first. She'll put up the second, and that one finds the bottom of the net. So now 31-14. Hobbs still leading this one by 17. Hand it to Armitage. She'll go in and put up the shot, and they wave off the foul. Wave off the shot, and they're going to say a floor foul. They're going to call that on Hawkins. That'll be her first personal. Just the 2nd team foul on Las Cruces. So floor foul, it will be Hobbs basketball. As Hargrove checks out, Zepeda checks in. Armitage, Zepeda, Cunningham, David, and Mojica on the floor for the Lady Eagles. To Cunningham off the inbound, puts up a shot. It's an air ball, winds up loose on the floor, and last touched by Hobbs. So goes out of bounds. So back to Las Cruces. It'll be Morales to inbound from right of her own bucket. She'll push it in. And then push it forward to Navarrete, and a foul going to be called. Zepeda trailing. Madison's first personal, 7th team foul on the Lady Eagles. So we'll go shoot some more free throws for Las Cruces. Under a minute to play in the first half. It'll be Quinones at the line. She is 1 of 2. She'll eye her first, put that one up, and it gets the roll home. So got the first one to go. And the second one is up. That one no good, and it'll be David with the rebound. So for Jayla, her 3rd board of the ball game. She'll just keep it herself, bring it all the way down, and she's going to get fouled. And so David will go to the line for 2. They're going to get Quinones for that one. We'll see for sure. Yep, it will be on Quinones, her first personal. Just the 3rd team foul, and Hobbs will head to the line in the form of Jayla David. So David to the line. 6 points in the ball game, looking to add to it. First one for David is up, and it is good. Just a quick note, I've been calling number 23 Alondra Rosie. She was listed with 2 different names in the roster we were given. Second shot is up, and Jayla gets them both. Makes it 33-15. She goes by Wyatt Cisneros. So I apologize if I've been calling that young lady the wrong name. And the bad pass, and that one is stolen away. Another turnover. The Lady Eagles have forced 15 into the hands of Mojica, who will get it to rattle home. 11 points for Nakaya. She leads the way for the Lady Eagles, up 35-15, a 20-point lead. Morales to the front court, into the deep right corner. Good defense by David to get back to keep Pacheco from being able to shoot the 3-ball, but they will push it onto the right base into the hands of Quinones, who will lay it up and in through a little bit of traffic. So 35-17, and Armitage, she'll take it up and in. Off of a good inlet pass, Hobbs back up by 20. as time will expire on the first half. And the Lady Eagles cruising in this one, 37-17 our score. We'll take a 3-minute timeout and come back with your halftime report. Hobbs Lady Eagle basketball continues in a moment on Eagle 100.5 and the Hobbs Sports YouTube channel. Back here in Las Cruces, it is halftime, and the Hobbs Lady Eagles cruising right now over the Las Cruces Lady Bulldogs. Our halftime score, 37-17. Hobbs is up by 20. I'm TJ Miracle. Tiff and Alina in studio engineering and producing tonight. Let's take a look at the numbers in the first half of this one. We will start with Las Cruces High. Their leading scorer right now is Alondra Wyatt Cisneros. She's got 6 points in the books. 4 points for Bethany Quinones, 3 points for Ryan Rodriguez, then 2 points for Danae Pacheco and Jasa Hawkins. Leading rebounder right now, Wyatt Cisneros and Quinones, each with 2 rebounds. Only 6 rebounds as a team for Las Cruces in that first half. They go 4 of 6 from the free throw line, 15 turnovers. Hobbs, unfortunately, unable to capitalize on quite a few of those. But something tells me they'll be talking about that in the locker room. For Las Cruces, they get 11 points in the first and 6 in the second. That's how they get to their 17 on the board. For the Hobbs Lady Eagles, turning the page, Nakaya Mojica leading the way for the ladies right now. She has 11 points in the books. Jayla David with 8 is next on the list. Brett Clay and Bryn Hargrove each with 6 points in that first half. 3 points for Caitlin Muniz. A point for Kendall Cunningham and 2 points for Aliana Armitage. Leading rebounder right now is Kendall Cunningham. She's got 4 boards. Brett Clay leads the rebounding with 5 boards. Cunningham with 4. David with 3. 13 rebounds as a team in that first half for the Hobbs Lady Eagles. Pretty consistent from the free throw line. 4 of 5 from the charity stripe for 80%. 6 turnovers in the first half. Probably a few more there than they would like to see, especially when they forced 15. And the ladies get 21 in the first and 16 in the second. That's how they get to their 37 on the board. For the Hobbs Lady Eagles, I think the key to the second half is they've got to convert when they get the open looks at the basket. There were at least 5 where they had wide open point-blank layups and just did not manage to finish. So, they finished those 5 shots. There's 10 more points on the board, and you're looking at 48-17, and you're almost in running clock territory in the second half. This was a very fast-moving first half, even with normal timing rules. Things got a little sloppy at the start of that second half, but I have a feeling the Lady Eagles will be cleaning that up when they come back out. Of course, they've been off a week after the holidays and after the holiday tournament. So just, working off a little bit of rust. And, of course, after tonight for the Lady Eagles, they will be back in action tomorrow afternoon at 3:30 over at Mayfield High against the Lady Trojans. We will have that game for you here on Eagle 100.5 and the Hobbs Sports YouTube channel after tomorrow for the Lady Eagles. They'll take a deep breath and 2 days off and then head up to Albuquerque for the APS Metro Tournament, where they are the defending champs of that one. They'll start that tournament on Tuesday evening from West Mesa High School. Dawn Morgan will have the call for you on that one. All 4 games from the APS Metro Tournament we will have here on Eagle 100.5. I do not believe we will be allowed to video stream that, but you will still be able to hear it and follow the score on the Hobbs Sports YouTube channel and, of course, the radio broadcast on Eagle 100.5. So 37, just a quick note, we will also have all of the boys' games for you as well from the APS Metro Tournament. Hobbs falling earlier this week in a tough battle to Permian. Those games very, very close until right at the very end of the ball game. So Hobbs then taking the week off before they start at 5:30 from Highland High School on Tuesday evening on our sister station, Cool 95.7. Ty friend Ron Gunter will have the call for all the boys' games. Again, no video will be allowed, I do not believe. I am still waiting on confirmation from APS on that, but I do not believe we will be allowed to video those, but you'll also be able to follow live scoring and hear those games on Hobbs Sports YouTube or Lee County News and Sports YouTube. Keep an eye on our Facebook pages. We'll let you know exactly when and where you can listen and follow along with all of those games from the APS Metro Tournament starting on Tuesday in Albuquerque for both the boys and the girls. So wrapping up halftime here at Las Cruces High. The Hobbs Lady Eagles in control over the Lady Bulldogs of Las Cruces High, 37-17. We'll be back in 90 seconds for the start of the second half. Lady Eagle basketball continues here on Eagle 100.5 and HobbsAmerica.com. Welcome back to Las Cruces High, getting ready for the start of the second half. The Hobbs Lady Eagles over the Las Cruces Lady Bulldogs, 37-17. I'm TJ Miracle flying solo tonight. Dawn Morgan a little bit under the weather, not able to make the trip, but Dawn will be back hopefully for the APS Metro Tournament starting on Tuesday. I'll be with you again tomorrow afternoon from Mayfield across town for the day portion of this night-day doubleheader. Of course, here for the entire second half, God willing, of this one. I'd like to thank the staff here at Las Cruces High School for helping me get set up. And I realize the camera angle is a little bit strange. Power is a bit of an issue here, but we appreciate them helping us do what we can. So the Hobbs Lady Eagles in the road blacks with the gold letters and numbers lead by 20. And it will be Las Cruces ball to start the second half. So it looks like you're going to have Rodriguez, Morales, Pacheco, Quinones, and Cisneros on the floor for Las Cruces. It'll be the starting five for Hobbs, Clay, Mojica, Hargrove, Cunningham, and David. So Las Cruces will be coming to right in front of my broadcast location. They will inbound it into the backcourt. Still haven't gotten across the timeline, due at the 7 count. Morales looking for some room. Mojica on her very tight. Throwing it inside and overthrowing Pacheco, and that will be turnover number 16 for Las Cruces. Hobbs forcing 15 turnovers in that first half. Not able to capitalize on many of them. As Clay to the front court, gives it to Mojica. She'll move it across the circle, then give it to Hargrove. Quinones keeping an eye on her. Now they'll get it back to Brett. To the free throw line, to Hargrove for three from the left wing, and bang! Bryn with 9 points in the ball game, and Hobbs will strike first here in the second half. As, of course, now my score bug has decided that it hates me once again. There it goes. 40-17, Hobbs in the lead. To Quinones. She'll take it to the right baseline, then have to toss it out. Morales, top of the arc. Her three ball on the way, and that one will rattle home. First points of the ball game for Morales. Takes it back to a 20-point lead. To Hargrove again, left corner, three ball, and bang again for Bryn. 12 points for Hargrove. And if the Lady Eagles can get their three-point range down, they are very, very deadly. Even when they're not shooting them particularly well, they're still very deadly. As it'll be Pacheco with Mojica on her very tight. To Rodriguez, to Cisneros. Now to Morales. She'll take it all the way through, but a bad pass. It'll go out of bounds. Was trying to get Pacheco in front of her own bench, but too many errant passes for Las Cruces. So it'll be Hobbs basketball. Clay will run the point, takes it into the front court to Mojica, to Cunningham, to David, top of the arc. Giving him a little bit of room. Now over to Clay. David to Clay, 18-footer, and that one is off the mark, and Cisneros will have the rebound, her third. No, Morales will take it into the front court. Now they'll get it to Quinones, who will pop it from 12 on the right side. 43-22, 5:50 remaining here in the third. To Hargrove, the little head fake to Cunningham. Back to Hargrove. Bryn to the high post, and they're going to call the charge. Wow. Offensive foul on Bryn. So that'll be her first personal, first team foul, and that'll be the 7th turnover for Hobbs. As Armitage, Zepeda, Muniz, and Size check in. Cunningham will stay on the floor for Hobbs. Navarrete checks in for Las Cruces. 5:36 remaining in the third. Hobbs up by 21. Quinones to Navarrete. Is their leading scorer and been quiet today. She is yet to get in the books. Navarrete will direct traffic. They'll get it to Rodriguez in the left wing. Three ball on the way. That one is off the mark. And off of the push, it'll be Zepeda with the rebound. And the ball goes out of bounds and last touched by Las Cruces, so it'll stay Hobbs basketball. So Muniz will come over to inbound it for the Lady Eagles. Just to the right of the Las Cruces bench. She'll get it into Armitage. Aliana will bring it across the timeline. Uses up the dribble, tosses it around to Size. Now to Zapata. Size sets the pick. Swinging it out to Muniz. To Armitage, back to Muniz. Left wing, three on the way, and bang! Caseland has her second tray of the ball game. 46-22, Hobbs in the lead. Pressure is on. Navarrete uses up the dribble. Tosses over to the free throw line and Quinones, and she'll bury it. 46-24, and a quick timeout taken. And it will be Las Cruces just going to take the 30, so we'll keep it right here. Say a big thank you to all the good folks who make Hobbs Lady Eagle basketball possible. They're on Eagle 100.5 and the Hobbs Sports YouTube channel. Of course, if you're watching, you see them there at the bottom of your screen. We appreciate all those folks. Be sure you support those fine local businesses. And, of course, if you're hearing them on the Eagle 100.5 broadcast, be sure you thank them and support them as well. We couldn't do it without Lasco Construction, TDS, Forest Tire Company, Hobbs Express, the First American Bank, Thriftway, Elite Home Health, NMR Pipeline, Ampersand, The Model, Divine Energy, Hydrotech Services, and the Coffee House. Size into the front court out of the timeout, and Rodriguez will poke it away. It'll stay Hobbs basketball. Coach Lori Selby smiling and pointing something out to some of her assistants as Clay will get the inbound. Hands it back to Zapata to Size in the left corner for three, and bang! Carolina with the tray ball. Trey in. Hobbs has lit him up from beyond the arc. 4 3-pointers so far in the third quarter, 49-24. Hobbs up by 25. To a cutting Navarrete, and she'll get the bucket and the foul. Janessa Navarrete, her first bucket of the ball game. And they will call the push foul on Brett Clay. Brett's third personal, second team foul on Hobbs. And Navarrete heads to the line for three the old-fashioned way. And the and one is up, and that one is going to be short. And it'll be Brent with the rebound. A little bit of pressure, and she loses the basketball. And gets it to Quinones, and Quinones will put it up and in. She's got 10 points now in the ball game. And a quick little 4-0 run for Las Cruces. And a bad pass as Zapata trying to get it to Armitage in the left corner. And Hobbs going to check the starters back in. After some good work off of the bench, 49-28, 3:50 remaining in the third. Hobbs comfortably in the lead, but don't want things to get sloppy. Ninth turnover for the Lady Eagles. As Pacheco will bounce it into Quinones. And it will be Las Cruces basketball. Quinones will bring it over the LC at center court. Comes near side to Navarrete. Navarrete with Hargrove on her. Coming near side to Morales. Mojica stays right with her. Hobbs running the tight defense to Cisneros. Now Cisneros tries to go high post but is moved out. Morales thinks about the shot off of the pass and will cycle it back around. They'll reset, almost loses the basketball. It is loose on the court, but it'll wind up in the hands of Quinones on the far side. She'll cycle it and reset. Coming to Rodriguez. To Cisneros, back to Rodriguez, working near side. 3:08 to go, third quarter. Hobbs up by 21, bounce it to the free throw line. Quinones turnaround jumper and off of the glass and home. Quinones has caught fire. She got 12 in the game and 8 here in this third quarter. Quickly a 6-0 run for Las Cruces to Mojica in the left corner. That three is off the mark, and it'll be Cisneros with her fourth board of the ball game. So right now, going nip-tuck in the third quarter. Las Cruces actually leading in the third quarter. course, it's a cumulative game, but Hobbs does not want to lose a single quarter to Rodriguez. Her three is up and no good, and it'll be Mojica with her rebound, but then a quick turnover, 10th turnover to Morales for three, and that one is off the mark. Jayla David has her fourth rebound. Jayla will push it forward to Mojica. Mojica bounces it, and it goes off of the foot of Rodriguez. It'll stay Hobbs basketball. Hobbs just a bit out of sorts here as Kaislyn Muniz waits to check in. So Kaislyn will go in for Mojica. So Mojica, Cunningham, or rather Hargrove, Cunningham into Cunningham. Tries to get it to David, and she's going to get fouled. Cisneros, I think, going to get whistled for that one. Let's see for sure. Now they're going to get that on Morales, so that'll be her first personal, just the first team foul on Las Cruces. Kendall was in the act of shooting, they say, so she'll head to the line for two. Kendall 1 of 2 from the line. 49-30, Hobbs in the lead. 2:01 to go here in the third. Kendall's first is up, and it is good. She's got 2 points now in the ball game. And Hobbs back up by 20. Hargrove, Clay, Cunningham, Muniz, and David on the floor for the Lady Eagles. Second on the way for Cunningham, and that one off the mark, but it'll be Hargrove with the rebound and a quick whistle. And they're going to call the push on Hobbs. The Hobbs faithful not liking it. I don't know what they're buzzing for. I think he said 2-4, but Carolina Size isn't on the floor. Be on Brett Clay. It'll be her fourth personal. And Coach Joey Carpenter asking why they were buzzing her out for 5 when she's only got 4. So Clay going to have to sit with 4 fouls and 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. You've got Cisneros, Morales, Navarrete, Rodriguez, and it will be Las Cruces basketball. And, oh yeah, that was a big walk. Navarrete took about 3 steps before she decided to toss it. So that'll be the 18th turnover for Las Cruces. Give it right back to Hobbs in their offensive zone. Things have kind of gotten a little bit sloppy as of late here in this third quarter. And Coach Selby for Las Cruces asking, how'd she walk? Well, when you slide your feet 3 times before you bounce the ball. So that'll go to Cunningham, top of the arc. She works against Cisneros. To Muniz, right wing for 3. That one is off the mark. And off the tip, that'll be Navarrete with her first rebound. Weaves through traffic, keeps it herself. Goes into the right lane, puts up a shot, no good, and it'll be Cunningham with her 5th rebound of the ball game. Kendall keeps it herself, gets it poked at by Navarrete. Now to Mojica. She'll take it on the left base, and she'll be fouled. Going to get that one on Cisneros, her 3rd personal. 2nd team foul on Las Cruces. Checking into the ball game will be Pacheco. Mojica to inbound it, gets it into Kendall in the low post, but she is going to be blocked. Ball loose on the floor, still loose, and somehow coming away with it is David. David will take it under. A little underhand scoop shot, not going to fall, in the rebound by Cunningham. And then a quick whistle sounds. And they are going to call the hold foul. They're going to put that one up on Navarrete, her first personal. 3rd team foul on Las Cruces. Hobbs will reset and try again, up by 20 with 1:18 remaining in the third. Push it into Kendall, and she is blocked from behind by Navarrete. Ball is loose on the court. We'll have a mad scramble for it, and it'll be a tie ball as Cunningham and Cisneros go to the floor with it. And the jump ball, Hobbs will have possession. All of a sudden, Las Cruces has picked up the intensity. Weathered a Hobbs three-point storm. It's into David, back to Mojica. Back to David on the left base, and she's going to get fouled as she drives in on the left base. And they will call the push on Cisneros. That'll be her fourth personal, fourth team foul. And Jayla heads to the line for two. 50-30, 20 points separate the two teams just like they were at the start of the third. First one on the way for Jayla, and that one is off the mark. Her first miss from the charity stripe. She's now 2 of 3, has 8 points in the ball game. Cisneros will have to sit with 4. That is 4. They've only got it as 3. And they put Hawkins in her place. Second one is up for Jayla, and that one is off the mark. And Hawkins, who just checked in, has her first rebound. Hobbs tries to take it away, but somehow it'll wind up in the hands of Morales. Morales with Mojica on her, goes to the left side. As she crosses the timeline, behind the back, push it to Rodriguez. Then to the right base with Navarrete. Has to find her way through. Good position, puts it up, and she's going to get fouled. As the Hobbs coaches just kind of shake their head a little bit. And they're going to call the hack on Kendall, her third personal. Fourth team foul on Hobbs, and Navarrete to the line for 2. 0 for 1 from the line. 2 points in the ball game for Las Cruces' leading scorer for their first 10 games, and she will short arm the first one. So we stay right at 50-30 as Size and Armitage come in for Muniz and Hargrove. Hobbs is yet to get a regular field goal here in the third quarter. 4 trays and a free throw. Second one is up, and that one is good for Navarrete. 50-31, 19-point advantage for Hobbs. Armitage weaves through traffic. Now we'll get it to Size. Deep left corner for 3, and bang! Erlina Size has her second tray of the ball game. 53-31, 30 seconds to go here in the third. Push it to a breaking Navarrete. How did they leave her that wide open and alone? I don't know, but they did. And she puts the bucket in. 53-33, 19 seconds to go. Armitage tries to split through traffic. Will get it to Mojica. Underneath to David all alone on the left baseline, and Jayla up and in. She's got 10 in the ball game. And timeout going to be taken by Coach Carpenter with 10 seconds remaining here in the third. It is just a 30, but we'll take it with them. 30 seconds, and we will return. Lady Eagle basketball continues on KEJL, Humble City Hobbs, K263 AZ Hobbs. Out of the Hobbs Lady Eagle timeout, 55-33. Hobbs in the lead, 11 seconds, 10.9 seconds to go here in the third. I'm TJ Miracle. Great to have you with us in Las Cruces. So it'll be Las Cruces basketball to start it, and into Navarrete's hands, but right out of him, and another turnover for Las Cruces. They've now turned it over 19 times, so Hobbs will have another opportunity to stretch this one out into Mojica. Clock runs with 7, with 6, with 5. Mojica, Rodriguez gives her a little room with 3, with 2. Push it over to Size, trying to get it onto the left base, and it'll go out of bounds at the buzzer. So we have played 3 from here in Las Cruces. It is Hobbs 55, Las Cruces 33. We're back in a minute for the fourth quarter as Lady Eagle basketball continues in a moment on Eagle 100.5. And welcome back to Las Cruces. Fourth quarter time. The Hobbs Lady Eagles up by 22 over Las Cruces High. It was an 18-16 quarter. Las Cruces playing much, much tougher in that third quarter. Hobbs at one point looked like they may stretch it out and run away with it, but Las Cruces keeping things close. And so it will be Bulldog basketball to start the fourth quarter as Quinones tosses it into the backcourt with Morales. To Pacheco in the deep right corner, picked up quickly by Mojica. Morales back out near center court. She'll cycle it to the left, then come back near side with Pacheco. Mojica swats at it. Pacheco saves it to Rodriguez, who throws it over the head of a cutting Quinones, and that is turnover number 20 for Las Cruces. Armitage, Size, Cunningham, Mojica, and David on the floor for the Lady Eagles. 7.5 to go in the contest. To Size, Pacheco on her pretty tight. Size pushing it to Cunningham, top of the arc, thinks about the three. Kendall goes over, scoops it. It is off the glass, and a foul called on the rebound on David, I believe. And yep, they are going to get Jayla her second personal, just the first team foul in the quarter. Yes, Coach Selby asking something from the official on the near side. We get back to play from the free throw line. A little pop-up shot and a quick foul. As Quinones puts it up, I think they're going to get Kendall for that one. Well, that'll be the fourth personal on Cunningham. Second team foul quickly on Hobbs. And it'll put Quinones at the line where she is 50-50. 2 for 4. She does lead the Lady Bulldogs with 12 points. She'll put up the first, and that one is good, and Las Cruces will strike first in the fourth quarter. Cunningham going to have to sit with 4 fouls. Cunningham and Clay both on the bench with 4 fouls apiece. As Quinones eyes the second, puts it up, and gets them both. So back to a 20-point lead for the Lady Eagles, 7:15 to go here in the game as Mojica crosses the timeline, pushing it over to Zepeda. Zepeda to Size, top of the arc for 3, and bang! Carolina Size with 9 points in the ball game. Now 58-35, and almost stolen away. Ball loose on the court, and tic-tac, tic-tac. They're going to get Armitage for the push. That'll be the second on Aliana. Third team foul on Hobbs. It is on the floor. Your Hobbs, you don't want to pick up too many fouls if you can help it. Don't want to let them back into it with the time, and timeout going to have to be taken by Coach Selby. Is good defense for the Lady Eagles. They're going to find out it's a 30 or a 60. And it will be a 30, so we'll just keep it right here. Say a big thank you to Coffee House, Hydrotech Services, Divine Energy, The Model, Ampersand Media and Design, NMR Pipeline, Elite Home Health, Thriftway Grocery Store, Hobbs Express, First American Bank of Hobbs, Forest Tire Company, Lee County State Bank, TDS, and Lasco Construction, making Hobbs Lady Eagle basketball possible here on Eagle 100.5, HobbsAmerica.com. And on the Hobbs Sports YouTube channel. I'm TJ Miracle flying solo from here in Las Cruces. Dawn Morgan a little bit under the weather this weekend. Of course, we hope Dawn gets to feeling better very quickly. She will be with you from Albuquerque next week for the APS Metro Tournament. So out of the timeout, good defense on Hobbs. Good coverage, forcing almost the 5 count. Las Cruces will get it in this time from the right elbow, in and out for Quinones, and that'll be Mojica with the rebound. Her second. Mojica to Armitage. Armitage will take it all the way into the near block, and a bump, and would have been a foul if it was on us, but I guess they didn't see it that way, but it'll be last touch by Las Cruces. It'll be Hobbs basketball as Navarrete will come in for Pacheco. It'll be Mojica to inbound it from right of her own bucket. Gaia looks, gets it into David in the right block. Turnaround, pushed off of the iron. Ball loose on the court, and it'll be Cisneros with the rebound. That'll be her 5th. To Navarrete, brings it into the right corner, and pocket picked by Armitage, and then a whistle. Foul going to be called as Armitage goes crashing to the floor. I think they're going to get Morales for that one. Let's see for sure. No. I think they're going to get Cisneros. I have that as her 5th, but I think they have it as her 4th. Is just the first foul. And into the front court come the Lady Eagles. Armitage to Zepeda. Zepeda tossing it out. Size to Mojica. Inside, trying to get it to David. Swatted away by Cisneros. And it should be Hobbs basketball. As checking in for the Lady Eagles. Hargrove, Muniz, Cunningham, and Clay. Cunningham and Clay both on the floor with 4 fouls apiece. So it'll be Hargrove to inbound it from left of the Hobbs bucket. Gets it into Cunningham. Throws it over and saved by Size. Carolina to Cunningham at the free throw line. Now to Clay. Thinks about the 3 and does the head fake, but slides the feet while she's at it. That'll be turnover number 12 for Hobbs, and give it back to Las Cruces with just 2 minutes gone here in the 4th. Rodriguez, Morales, Cisneros, Navarrete, and Quinones on the floor for Las Cruces. Hargrove, Size, Cunningham, Clay, and Muniz for Hobbs. Morales saves it after that one is swatted almost away. Rodriguez comes through, bounces it to Quinones. 12-footer from the right base, no good, and it'll be Clay with the rebound, her 7th. Brad will take it herself, brings it over, gives it to Cunningham. Kendall with the little left-hand push shot off the glass. Cunningham with 4 in the ball game now, and 60-35, and a whistle sounds as they were getting Pacheco in the game. So the referees are talking about something. All right, yeah, they didn't give him a chance to get it in, to get the sub in. All right, they've got it all worked out with 5:34 remaining. Hobbs up by 25, 60-35. Now Rodriguez gets the inbound, gives it right back to Morales. Muniz on Morales. Turns on the Jets, gets it over to Pacheco. Pacheco falls on the floor. Las Cruces wanted a foul, not going to get it. Clay to Hargrove off the left glass and up and in for Bryn. She's got 14, leads the way for Hobbs. 62-35, 5:05 to go in the ball game. To Cisneros to Rodriguez, bounce it over to Navarrete. Has to turn around, she will go hard to the glass. Shot up, no good. Rebound by Cisneros, and her putback will go. Not a lot Clay could do with that one. She didn't want to draw the contact and foul out of this one. To Clay from the right wing for 3. That one is short. Long rebound, and Hargrove gets bashed to the floor by Rodriguez. No call, and they're going to say Bryn touched it last. So it'll wind up back in the hands of Las Cruces. The Hobbs faithful not liking that one. Some of the things they've let go, some of them they haven't. But at least it's been consistently that way. As Martinez to Rodriguez, working the far side of the court. Back to Martinez, bounce it to Navarrete at the free throw line. She works against Cunningham. Bounce it underneath to Cisneros and a bump from behind, and that'll probably do it for Kendall. Oh, they're going to call that one on Size, so that'll be her first personal. 4th team foul on Hobbs. Wyatt Cisneros at the line for 2, and her first is up and good. The Lady Bulldogs playing a much more spirited second half than they did the first half. Second on the way, and that one rolls around, no good, and it'll be Cunningham with the rebound. That's 7 for Kendall. 62-38, 3 on the way for Muniz, and bang! Kaislyn Muniz with 9 points in the ball game. 65-38. Halfway gone in the fourth. Full court press is on. Knocked away by Cunningham. Bouncing it over, and the shot is up, and count the bucket and the foul. 3 the old-fashioned way, as they are going to get the push foul on Morales. And Armitage will head to the line for 2. And just like that, Hobbs will have a chance to stretch it out to a 30-point lead. Armitage with 4 in the ball game, trying to make it 5, and that one will be short. And it'll be Navarrete with the rebound, her second. 29-point lead for Hobbs. And that one is going to go from behind and off of the leg of one of the Lady Eagles, so it'll stay Las Cruces basketball. Morales, Cisneros, Rodriguez, Navarrete, and Pacheco on the floor, and it'll be Pacheco who gets the inbound. Hargrove, Cunningham, Armitage, Clay, and Muniz on the floor for your Lady Eagles. The Navarrete to Morales, right wing for 3. That one is an air ball and into the hands of Caitlin Muniz. Muniz pushing it forward to Armitage, drives left base, tries to get it to a right base cutting Brett Clay, but it is knocked away, and it'll stay Hobbs Lady Eagle basketball. So Hobbs trying to stretch it out here late. Hargrove will toss it into Armitage. Aliana to the free throw line, takes it to the left elbow and gives it off to Muniz. Into Cunningham, and they're going to call the charge on Cunningham. Kendall just shakes her head. That'll be turnover number 13 for Hobbs, and that'll do it for Kendall. She's going to foul out with 4 points and 7 rebounds. And Jayla David will check into the ball game to replace Cunningham, who fouled out. Kind of a good day on the boards for Kendall, kind of quiet on the offensive end. Brett Clay still on the floor with 4 fouls. Now Navarrete to Pacheco, pushing it to Cisneros. Spin in the paint on the right side, puts a high shot off the glass, and it'll be Brett Clay with the rebound, her 8th. Brett feeds it down to Caitlin Muniz off the right glass, lay it up and in. Caitlin Muniz now with 11 points for the Lady Eagles, who lead by 31. The 31-point lead for Hobbs. 2:53 to go. Push it over to Cisneros, and that's up and in, and they will call a late trailing foul. 11 points now for Cisneros. Makes it 69-40. Let's see who they're going to catch us on for that one. Going to get that one on David, so Jayla, that'll be her 3rd personal. 5th team foul, and so Cisneros will get the and one. 69-41, 2:49 remaining in the contest. Of course, Las Cruces now in the double bonus. As Hargrove brings it up in front of the scorer's table. Goes over on the left side, a little step over from 12, and it is good for Hargrove, who's got 16. 71-41, 2.5 to go. Rodriguez under pressure, gets it back to Morales. Still in the backcourt, finally gets it up at the 9 count. Navarrete will put the little runner up from 7. And the rebound will be brought down by David, her 5th. Jayla to Brett. Clay splits through 2 defenders and up and in for Clay. Brett Clay with 8 points in the ball game. 73-41, 2 minutes to go. To Quinones from the free throw line, rattles it home. Quinones now with 16 points. Leads the way for the Lady Bulldogs. Muniz in the deep left corner. Takes it to the left block, gives it to Clay. She'll take it through the left lane, and Brett lays it up and in on the left side. 10 points for Clay, 75-43. 1:40 remaining. Hobbs in control. Don't want to foul it here. Don't want to let him cut into it with the clock not ticking. Almost picked off by Muniz to Rodriguez to the free throw line. Yeah, a little travel didn't get called there, and Navarrete will take it into the left lane and put it in. 7 points for Janessa Navarrete. Still the 30-point Hobbs lead. Armitage to the left elbow. Tossing into Clay. Clay losing the ball on the court and goes out of bounds. She got tripped up underneath. Got tangled up with one of the Lady Bulldogs. 14th turnover for Hobbs. 1:07 remaining in the contest. Of course, the night side of the night-day doubleheader here in Las Cruces. Both the teams do it just about every year. The boys did theirs back in December, and that one goes off of the foot of Quinones. Picks it up. Armitage on her very tight. Tosses it to the top of the arc. Navarrete to the left lane. The underhand scoop shot misses, but she's fouled, and she'll head to the line for two. Going to get that on Jayla or Bryn. We'll see. I've kind of got, like I said, I've got netting and a rail kind of in my way a little bit here, but not complaining. It will be on David, her fourth personal. So at the line is Navarrete, who's 1 of 3 from the stripe. First one is up, and it is good. 8 points for Janessa Navarrete, just shy of her season average. New players coming onto the floor for Hobbs as Zapata back in, Mojica back in, Size back in. And Katie Godwin seeing her first action of the night. Second one is up, and that one is off of the mark. And the ball will go out of bounds. Last touched by Navarrete. 47 seconds remaining in the contest. 75-46. Mojica telling him what she wants. Inbounds it to David, who gives it right back to Mojica, who gets it off to Size. Now into the deep left corner to Zapata. Zapata, the little runner from 10 on the base, no good. And the ball will go out of bounds, and Mojica goes out into the lobby. But last touched by Hobbs, so back into the hands of the Lady Bulldogs. So Las Cruces has played, as I mentioned a couple of times, a much tougher second half than they did in the first half. But not going to be enough to get them out against the number 1 team in the state, as the 18-footer from just inside the arc is up for Quinones and good. Now 75-48. And the inbound contested. And a turnover for Hobbs. So 21 seconds to go, and it will be Las Cruces basketball off the turnover. Rodriguez will get it in and swat it away by Zapata. Nice job by Madison, who swats it off of Quinones, and it'll go out and give it to Hobbs on the turnover. So into Zapata with 18 seconds to go to Size. Little sidewinder pass to Muniz. Or pardon me, that's Mojica. Again, I apologize. I've kind of got railing in my way here from certain vantage points with 1, with 0, and Size just going to dribble it out. And the Hobbs Lady Eagles will be victorious tonight. 75-48 the final. Hobbs will improve to 12-1 on the season. We'll take a timeout, come back and get some numbers and see if we can talk to Coach Carpenter. Hobbs victorious 75-48. Lady Eagle postgame show coming up here on Eagle 100.5. Back here in Las Cruces, Lady Eagle postgame show as Hobbs will improve to 12-1 on the season with a 75-48 victory over a pretty game Las Cruces team. Leading scorer for Las Cruces, they had 2 double-digit scores. Bethany Quinones led the way with 18 points. She was the high point for the entire game regardless of teams. Alondra Wyatt Cisneros with 12 points in the ball game. Those were the double-digit scores for Las Cruces. Las Cruces 13 rebounds. Cisneros led the way with 6 of those. 10 of 15 from the free throw line were the Lady Bulldogs. They got 11 in the first, 6 in the second, 16 in the third, 15 in the fourth for their 48. For your Hobbs Lady Eagles tonight, you had 5 girls in double digits, led by Bryn Hargrove. She had 16 points in the ball game, 11 points for Nakaya Mojica, 10 points for Brett Clay, 10 points for Jayla David, and 11 points for Caitlin Muniz off of the bench. Leading rebounder was Kendall Cunningham Brett Clay. Can't read my own handwriting. Brett Clay led the way with 8 rebounds. Cunningham was 7 before she fouled out. Only 20 rebounds as a team for Hobbs. They did win that battle. They didn't get a lot of opportunities from the free throw line. They go 5 of 9 from the charity stripe tonight. For the Lady Eagles, they get 21 in the first, 16 in the second, 18 in the third, and 20 in the fourth. So not the, probably not the game that they would have absolutely wanted to have, but you know, you're on the road, you're in a team's home gym, and you've got a little rust coming off of course, the big win at the Hobbs Holiday Tournament, and no slouch for these Las Cruces Lady Bulldogs as they came out and, yeah, they were ready to play and played much tougher in the second half. And, guys, I do believe we are back on tie line. Just a quick behind-the-scenes note there. So, of course, the Lady Eagles, hey, we've heard Coach Carpenter say numerous times, hey, as long as we win by a point, a win is a win is a win, and they'll take those wins anyway, anyhow, that they can get them. And they did get one tonight, although maybe not as easy as they would have anticipated. So a quick turnaround for Hobbs, as I'm sure they're going to be heading off to their hotel for tonight. I know that's what I'm going to be doing. And then tomorrow we'll be across town over at Mayfield for a 3:30 scheduled start time against the Lady Trojans. We'll be on the air at about, if everything's running on time, we should be on the air around 3:15 tomorrow afternoon. Hopefully my voice will be completely restored by then, and looking forward to bringing you that game tomorrow. Final tune-up before the APS Metro Tournament for the Hobbs Lady Eagles. So Coach Carpenter with some supporters down on the floor, so I think we will go ahead and just sign it off here so I can save what is left of my voice. Hobbs came out and got out to the early lead and never let up. They are victorious tonight, 75-48. For Tiff Stuber and Alina Muro in studio engineering and producing for Dawn Morgan, I'm TJ Miracle saying so long and good night from Las Cruces. This has been an exclusive presentation of Walmart Digital and Eagle 100.5 Sports. Good night, everybody.